So hi Kartika, we're more than
Hi.
happy to have you here at our LGW's chat room. So we've all heard about Gulab weddings,
Yes.
if not attended one.
Yeah.
So you tell us what you do, what your forte is.
Okay, so theoretically, Gulab is a group of 5 designers who put in a lot of effort to make your wedding day the perfect day for you. You know, so designing, say, I will definitely let you know what designers do in my firm. But then, Gulab for me will always be what is the first thing that comes to you when you think about Gulab?
High client, high profile, amazing, crazy. But the most
Yeah.
like rosy and all of
Yes,
this.
it's pretty, it's
Pretty,
perfect.
yeah,
So,
elegant.
that's what Gulab does.
Yeah.
Gulab gives you the beautiful wedding that you ever imagined. And we definitely make dreams come true.
Yes,
So,
for
that's what we do.
That's great. But like, how is it like? I've heard that you do particular designing and
Yeah.
you do particular something that I've not really heard that
Yeah.
a lot of people do. What you provide is not what every event management company is actually providing.
Absolutely. So, when somebody asks me what is the wedding designer,
Yeah.
we are designers. Okay? How do we design weddings? So, we are a subhead under these event planners and wedding planners. I am not a wedding planner, I am not an event manager, I am not a production house, I am not a florist, I am a wedding designer. I will bring things like a florist, a production house, a lighting guy, and I will design the entire, probably a table for you, the upholstery of this sofa, the entire setup that you see for these big weddings that you come across on internet. So this is what the designers do. Like how fashion designer is. Sabyasachi does this. He doesn't do the fabric. He doesn't do the embroidery.
Yeah.
It's artisans who do that. It's a different mill altogether जहाँ से कपड़ा आता है. It's, the color is, the dyer is different. But then putting all that together and giving you that beautiful sari that you saw Alia Bhatt wearing in Met Gala.
Yeah.
That
So
is
you're
what
the
we do.
vision.
I am the vision, I am the source, I am the mind behind, that perfect set that you see.
But don't you think like normal event companies confuse that? Like there's not जो आपका particular job description है, specification है, वो इतना नहीं मिलता है in
Yeah.
like normal event. Especially if I compare to my time, 8 years. तब तो I think it was like कि okay we have one event company, वो सारा काम आपको करके बस दे देगा.
Absolutely.
But I think now with times, things have changed. People have learned to understand what you're doing. People have learned to value it.
Absolutely.
So don't you think like from 8 years and now things have changed drastically?
It's a dynamic shift. है ना? पहले nobody knew who the wedding designer was.
Exactly,
Right?
हाँ.
It's absolutely a new concept. Adaptability भी बहुत कम है. अभी तक भी बहुत कम है.
Yeah.
I have been in this industry for past 4 years. I was a planner long ago. But then now since past 4 years, post COVID, I have only been a wedding designer. So meeting these old families and
Yeah.
telling uncle and making him sit. Children today, they know it all.
Yeah, they know
Right?
it all, huh.
They've seen it, names like big names, different designers. Names like Manish Malhotra, names like Tarun Tahiliani, names like Abu Jani and Sandeep Khosla. These are big designers.
Yes.
They are coming to weddings,
yes,
So that is how the introduction is. That, designer concept is a new concept.
Yes.
But then you are getting a, somebody who specializes only in decor. So your
Yeah.
headache is gone.
Haan.
There is not one person who is handling the tent wala also,
Haan,
the
the
florist
florist
also.
also.
I am just doing my bit and
That's
I
your
am
forte.
going to put my 100% into it and I'm going to give you the perfect set, the perfect aisle, the perfect flowers. And when you walk in, you see it's all so dreamy and nice.
But I'm sure nowadays brides put in a lot of efforts with you, right? I mean, the whole concept of bridezilla
Yeah.
is now. How is that? What's your take on that specific word?
So bridezilla is definitely and will always be there. People panic.
Yeah.
That's natural. You know, you want it to be nice.
Yeah.
You want it to be the way you ever.
Perfect.
We think about weddings from the day we're born.
Yes.
Right. So even your parents, they put it in us
Yes.
that this is how you're going to dress for your wedding.
Yeah.
So bridezilla is as natural as it is, and I think when people like us come on board, we definitely try to take away that tension because it's easy. You see everything. There is so much of example happening on internet all through and through that it's easy to tell what you want.
Yeah.
And nowadays, funny thing, these brides come to me and tell me that my mood board is ready. Can you just हमें ऐसा चाहिए and can you just, and मैं तो guilt trip में चली जाती हूँ कि dude, wasn't this my job? But then I think it has made it easier for all of us to crack the client, because फिर we know what to serve them. They are very, very clear. Once I know what I want, it saves your time, no?
Yeah.
So that's how it is. That they come up with these different mood boards, and then they want me to do exactly how they want. And it's just one picture that helps me create an entire story. Pinterest हो गया, या all together these old weddings also, you've seen पहले आयल का concept हमारे हिंदुस्तानी weddings में कहाँ होता था? It was all very modern weddings, English weddings में aisle used to be there. Now aisle has come into a picture, and how everybody wants aisle, and I make two aisles sometimes. The boy is coming from a different aisle, the bride is coming from a different aisle. So you never know, someday the Sehra will also have a veil.
But like honestly, ये जो walking down the aisle and all होता है, is it really planned? Is it like natural? ये आँखों का आंसू and all this, is it really like natural, or is it what?
Okay, so honestly, sometimes it is, then you become the trendsetter. After that, it is all choreographed. And I don't mind it being choreographed also.
Yeah.
As long as it gives you a perfect picture. It's all right. But then, yes, shedding a tear or two, the bride telling the children, their own children, ki your father did not shed a tear. After that, marriage ke baad only shedding tears. So true. That is there. But then, yes, it is choreographed, and it is very well choreographed. We have people who do that. Trendsetters like Kiara's wedding, or probably even Priyanka Chopra's wedding, when she had that entire veil coming down. These are very well choreographed things, and it's a nice thing to do so. Because then you save again a lot of time. I had come across a very funny thing. My bride was sitting with me, and she was just discussing. I said, "Did you plan?" I said, "I've only planned one." She said, "I've only planned one thing, which was that my brothers have to be absolutely right while holding my phoolon ka chadar." And it was a properly choreographed, when they were walking, and then suddenly everybody shifted on the right side, and then she came in the center, and then she started walking. And I was amazed. I was like, oh my god, this is so.
But I think it's right ना, वहाँ पे कुछ इधर उधर हो, उससे बढ़िया.
Correct. और इधर उधर भी होता है, but then there is always take two. People are taking takes and takes.
I think I've attended a wedding where the bride is coming in twice, thrice, just because the cue was not right. So there's a different person who is playing the track. There's a different person who's giving you a heads up of walking down, and then the groom is busy because his friend is saying something. I think it's more of that bridezilla. But like, what do you think about all this? ये जो आजकल की शादियाँ Instagram के लिए, या you're not living the moment. Do you think that has become a problem now? Like when you compare it to, like I'm talking about myself, 8 years down the line, I had no idea मेरी entry कैसे हो रही है. I was just chilling. I was so happy with the fact that एक तो इतनी young, and I was happy with the fact that actually शादी हो रही है, जिससे पसंद कर रही हूँ उससे कर रहे हैं, वही बहुत बड़ी बात है. So I was like relaxed, chilling, and the family was doing everything. But I understand that now brides have an opinion and they're doing everything. But what is your take on actually living the moment? Do you think brides or groom even, are they like really living the moment?
So honestly, with the kind of these reels and Instagram and the real time videos that come out, I think they are reliving the moment each time they see
every time they watch it. That's a beautiful take on it. That's true.
So it's okay, it's your wedding day, do this also, might as well. When everything else has been done for you, why not? So there are people hire these real if I don't know what to call them, but then they're reel makers. Let me call them that. So they come on board, you hire them, you make them stay in the property for 3 days, and they give you these reels which have a viewership of millions and millions. This has happened very recently with me, when one of my brides decided to hire 2 of these girls, and they came in, they made really nice reels of the decor, of the BTS, of the bride and groom entry, and then different things that we see for reels. So they made them do all of that choreographed steps, and dress change, and that transition reels and everything. And I'm telling you, it had a viewership of 2 million and counting. Isn't that big?
That's amazing.
If you really want to make your wedding go viral, then definitely yes, it's a good thing to do. Plus you're reliving that moment. I will never get bored of my wedding video. If now that it's been 8 years for you, tell me, would you like to do something from those?
Now that I hear that,
abhi to I would be like कि क्या है यार ये इतना झंझट reels and all, but now that you're talking about it in such a way, actually it would have been beautiful to see how I walked, how I looked, how my husband reacted. Actually, that's a good take on
But husband reactions, I'm telling you, they are very fake. The grooms are just, either they're too high to, enjoy that moment. But then, yes, there are different emotions involved. I think, as they say, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. That falls absolutely true. Men just put in that fun element to the wedding, but then the brides put in so much effort to make it perfect. For everybody, trust me.
So आप भी viral होता है जब video, then you have to also put in your efforts or your things with the reel makers, right? Like how they want it to be.
Definitely. So they want us to, for an example, just my forte, like we said, that it's only decor and designing. So when the setup has to be ready on time, because I also know that they are going to give me some mileage. They have got such a great viewership. So even if I want to, I definitely allow them to go out and make these reels of my labor working or I chatting with somebody, and it's very, very natural and it's nice. And then the transition reels that we talk about, you saw everything, ply lying on the floor, flowers randomly putting, and suddenly you see that perfect picture of your own setup. It just is so satisfying. It's so much nice to see.
You've done I think amazing high profile weddings, where I think we've all heard about it, and I think because I know you personally, so I think I've heard those high profile weddings and I'll be like, acha, Gulab wedding, I know her. So how is that like? How is dealing with that segment, that niche, how is that?
It's tiring. It's tiring. They have got their own, set protocols. There's a lot of security involved when you do a celebrity wedding, because, they'll keep your phones. They'll put these. For us, it's easy, if something is off, I'll just send a picture to one of my production guys and tell them that this is off. But then they don't allow you to do all of those things.
How do you
Internal communication is very, very difficult. You're mostly on your walkies. And then plus, you want to tell the world that you're doing something as big as that. But then they have their own security reasons of not telling it. It shouldn't go out.
Even during the planning, nahi bata paate honge na?
Not at all. And, keeping that in your tummy and forever. Oh my God.
Do you share it with your partner or anybody in your family?
Of course, that's there.
I don't think I would have been able to keep it.
Yeah, because it's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
Somebody doing Virat Kohli, Anushka Sharma's wedding. Imagine it's such a big thing. You just see them on TV, and that person is standing right in front of your eyes.
You're doing their biggest moment.
Yeah, you're sitting with them, you're chatting with them, and you're seeing them in their own candid way. So that's such a big moment for you, and how to keep it to yourself. But yes. So these weddings definitely are very tiring, because
tantrums?
Lot of tantrums, definitely lot of tantrums, because they know what they want, and it's just not them. It's a line of people that you have to go through.
Okay.
Right. So if at all I have a social media manager, she will tell me how to set up certain things, and I know my job. So when somebody is constantly poking me to do certain things certain way, I don't like that. That's where it just puts me off. But then otherwise, the other people also, there are different heads. If I have my supervisor, I have two supervisors from their side, and they're constantly keeping a check on all of those things, which is all right, is all right, as long as you are attentive towards your own work. That's absolutely okay. But then yes, these fall as tantrums, not from the right person whom you would love to take. But then all the other people.
They don't directly interact.
No, they do. They definitely do. And they must, I say, because, when I am sitting and I am asking you for my job, you need to be available to me to give you what you want, right? So you can't be having these different people in between hierarchies, so they it's just becomes like, a very haywire discussion. Chinese whisper. So might as well just sit with me. I know the how to deal with the all high-end clients, and even if it is a basic person, people are investing money in our wedding. People are hiring us for something. So they will definitely put in money. So it's not about big money, small money. It's about that connection. We have a connection. It will resonate.
But how do you, I think a lot of people, even labels ke liye, in my brand or anything, always there's the first question comes up is, how do you bag the first high profile client? We want to enter the niche, and every field mein har kisi ko karna hai. But in your case, How do you think you managed to get the first high profile? Because baad mein to word of mouth, I'm sure.
Correct.
But what is that first step to bag that?
I think you should be focused in your work. You know, you do a great wedding.
Yeah.
It has got nothing to. My pictures cannot tell how much money have I put in.
Yeah.
Right. As long as it is pretty and nice.
Yeah.
Like I said, there are a lot of people उनके नीचे जो ये सारी चीज़ों पे चेक रखते हैं, right? So if somebody is doing that research, they will definitely come across people like us, right? And I think everything else is very important, like these reels that we were discussing. You know, they all are there, and you know, people definitely look at something which is like 2 million reach. It's big, right? किसी ना किसी के सामने वो आएगा ही आएगा. And then people actually approach you through that. So I think everything else is important. You must have these reel makers who come in and who put in an effort and give you that mileage.
Yeah.
And then you definitely become a part of it. But the most important thing is, if you are doing a great job, you will come in the eye of anybody and everybody.
So do you really think networking in this field is important?
Definitely. So we have got these conferences. Wedding conferences are famous all across the world.
Right.
You know, Turkey. So different destinations are coming up.
Okay.
And networking is happening in such a way that these destinations, because they also want us to sell them, and we also would want to, you know, give better options to our clients.
Right.
So I think on those platforms like these wedding conferences, we definitely come across people. And now is the time for collaboration also, you know. So if I meet somebody from Bombay who is doing a high-end wedding, and if I become a part of them through being, you know, doing or giving what I actually do, like my forte is wedding designing. So I will become a part of that wedding. Like how it happened in Ambani wedding, right? Anand Ambani's entire pre-wedding events had some 20 different designers coming on board. And imagine the kind of collaboration has happened. You know, there were big names like Manish Malhotra, who was the director of all the decor that happened, you know. So definitely that collaboration 100% works through networking when you attend these conferences. So I definitely stand by them that one should definitely attend these conferences.
Okay.
It's a great platform.
That's how you meet people.
Yeah, we meet people. Otherwise, you know, sitting in your own city, Jaipur में बैठ के, you know, कितना करने से भी ज़्यादा, you know, you will always be a part of the circle that you're in. Right. You would never want to move out.
Right.
You know, so I think it's good. In a way, it's good to go out and network with people. Yeah.
I think when it comes to wedding and wedding planning, what has actually made us realize कि ये कितना glamoury and glitzy is made in heaven. So,
yes.
Tell us about that. Is it really like that? Is it the way how Shobita has made it? Is it really like that?
So yes, when you talk about weddings, it is pretty glamorous when you know, at first go when you think about it. But then the reality is definitely different, you know. You are working till the last moment because you want your bride to just perfectly walk through that aisle, right? But then yes, if you are able to do a great time management, it's a part of all of it. What we saw in Maiden Heaven definitely was just a bit of it. Hai na? Originally, honestly, I would love to, you know, someday dress and go to the wedding, but I get so tired that I don't feel like going there. You know, but if you have a great team, you have got people who are handling different spaces, you have different departments, and then time management is perfect, then yes, that glamour that you saw in Shobita is absolutely doable. And I would love to someday just dress like that and walk
because,
around. You know, also, there's another thing that I've realized that, you know, we get so close to the family that we become a part of their family. Right? Even if there is an issue between the Bua and Masi, I would know it better because Auntie has told me about it. Her phone is with me, her, you know, most important jewelry is with me, and I'm standing right by her. And she will be, you know, she knows that I will not pass any judgments, and she'll talk to me about everything. And then she wants me to sit with her and have a meal because she knows that I'm not.
You get very attached.
Yeah, so I can't be in my tracks and you know, sitting with her because
it's like a family wedding.
Yeah, so then it becomes like a family wedding, and you would want to get ready. I've done that before when I was a planner. Of course, I've done that before because you're the face and you're there and all of that. But then, as a decorator, I think I prefer going back home on time. That has been like one help to me.
No, that's great. I mean, everyone has its own take. It's just that Maiden Heaven made us realize कि हाँ ये देखो कितना fancy है everything and all this. But again, struggles भी होते ही होंगे. What are some struggles as wedding planners that you think कि हाँ ये एक struggle है which I'm unable to break through?
See, making people accept the fact that I can be a wedding designer and I've got nothing to do with planning and management and everything else.
Yeah.
Somebody, if at all I tell them that I've got a certain fee, and then they tell me that, justify this fee. I mean, how can I justify my fee? I'm a creative person.
Yeah.
I invest hours and hours. Maybe last night when I was sleeping, I suddenly had a thought about a flower, and then I thought, oh my God, that's such a beautiful idea. And I made a note of it, and I shared it with my bride the next morning. So can you count my man hours? You can't. So that is how you can't judge me on my fee structure. I can ask you for X money, I can ask you for Y money, and please respect that fact. That we're very creative people. We do not see hours. We see the amount of energy and effort we put in, and respect us for that.
So I'm sure थोड़ा older generation के साथ ज़्यादा होता होगा ना, compared to like the bride and grooms.
Actually, everybody is influenced by that. No, the paymasters are the parents only. Right? It's not like how you have weddings outside the country. So a lot of NRI families that come and meet me, they have a very different mindset. They know that okay, Kartika is asking me for a certain fee. What will you give me? They take my entire detailed sheet of what am I going to offer them, and then they're happy, they're content, because they know that's how things work in abroad. But then India it's still a very weddings are like a domestic event, affair. So wahan par the chacha will also have a take on it. The mamaji will also have, and a best friend will also have
a take on it. Yes.
And I have to give presentations to all these people. And the funny thing is that the bride is just looking at me and with that puppy face and like, please convince my parents.
And I'm like, that the generation gap, like middle ground कैसे करते हो? वहाँ से पैसा आना है और वहाँ
कुछ रखना है. So I think it's always better to be honest with both the parties. Telling a father is always emotional when the daughter is getting married, right? So you have to touch the right string. You have to tell them that this is what she wants, and we can find a balance between your expectations and her expectations. But definitely some things that are undoable, they're undoable. Let's just chuck them off, or let's just find. Because then they ask me for better options. But then if you have seen something, you have seen Gucci, you would want Gucci. You can't be happy with Prada or Celine or something else, So that's how it is. So let's be honest. Let's tell them what they want. Let's tell the daughters, and they're the best people to convince. They can only convince their father.
Do you think grooms का भी इतना say होता है जितना brides का?
Definitely, sometimes yes. Sometimes yes. And I have seen families where it's only the groom side who's taking all the decision, though the paymasters are the bride side.
Oh.
Yes, that also happens, and definitely in India it happens. Because, I think the groom would like to make, some brides are really easygoing. Yeah, they are still those 8-year-old brides who do not care about, what are they, how are they going to walk in, but they're very happy with what they're wearing and how the life is going to come, looking forward to a better life. So that's there. But then the grooms have their own takes on it. They would want to do parties, and they would want to do these crazy Bali, Mexicola sort of a vibe for their after party and things like that. So I think it's easy to crack grooms though. You smile and you convince them, and they're okay. Yeah. Recently, I did not know who the bride was. I only met the bride's brother, who was very happy with having a bar at one of the events. Very happy, poor guy.
Sorted.
And the only person whom I was dealing with was the groom's sister.
Oh.
So, even in my system, there's this folder with her name only. Oh. Because I do not know who the groom and bride were.
Oh, God.
Imagine.
And the bride was okay with it?
Yeah, absolutely. She was fine with it.
Oh.
So, I think for them it becomes very easy. They do not know, it's always a surprise for them.
Yeah, I think that's also nice.
And also the entire bridezilla concept is gone for her because she doesn't know. So she's not panicking and she's fine with everything.
I was telling you my example. Like I trusted my guy so much that I was like, हाँ ये जो बंदा मेरा designing कर रहा है या whatever event कर रहा है, I know he will.
That was a third party. Imagine you are trusting somebody from the family only. And it's pretty new. That connection is also not there still. But then, trusting that person. So I give 100% to my bride. She was very, very trustful when it comes to giving her wedding gift to somebody.
I'm sure ये problems आपको intercaste weddings में भी होती होगी.
Absolutely.
मेरे ये रस्म, उसकी ये रस्म, like those things of issues. Have you like gone through any like you feel like कि हाँ यहाँ पे अब कुछ burn होने वाला है या यहाँ अब कुछ होने वाला है, and that time you're just like, okay, I should just not be here right now. Do you have you encountered
Oh my God, that happens, and that's how the weddings become a 5-day wedding. When we used to think about destination wedding, it was just 2 days.
2 days, yeah.
Now it has become like 3-day, 4-day affair.
Yeah.
Because the rituals are so many, and everybody wants to do that ritual, and it's very difficult for families to understand each other's rituals. So we try to find that a little time for them also to do their rituals. But then yes. There is always a little, heated up arguments and things like that. They definitely happen, but I think it's always a part of the good that is going to come out of this wedding. And it's always okay to, discuss everything beforehand. Because we would definitely ask these difficult questions that, would you like the bride to do her own rituals? Where would you like them to do their rituals? Sometimes the groom's involvement is also very important for the bride's side to have it. The groom is not available. So that's when I tell the bride and the groom to find a middle ground. I ask them to talk so that the families are away from all these discussions. Because different minds, different thought processes and different things being discussed. Sure. You do not know my mamaji, I do not know your mausaji, and then creating this animosity before the event is not a good idea, I would say. So might as well the groom and the bride should sit together with us, discuss it through and through, and we will give them a little that space to place all these events.
So that there's a middle ground.
There's a middle ground always, and always a third party becomes the right person to give such suggestions.
For sure.
So I think
you have encountered cold feet brides or grooms.
Oh yes, I have.
How do you do that? So like you're keeping a smiling face and you're just like, challe yaar, challe.
No, so see, cold feet, so definitely, but then I think it hasn't been that difficult for me. You see that there's a lot of love happening.
Blooming.
It's always a nice moment to have these two together. And
do you go back and you tell your husband ki dekho na types?
No, I am so like different. No, I'll say you did not shed tears. I will make you shed tears. So but then cold feet definitely yes. But then the cold feet is for a different reason. My track is not played on time.
Oh yes, the bridezilla things.
So that's there, but not the other way. And I'm happy that it has not happened that way.
But in all this chaos, how do you keep your sanity in life? Like those 3-5 days when you're crazily involved in a wedding, what do you do? Like, do you drive your house crazy or do you just find a way out? What do you?
I definitely drive my house crazy, but then there's somebody else to take care of it. So I'm happy that my husband is there. But then yes, it's very important to relax, to sit and eat, to have water, keep yourself hydrated. And because now that I'm into this practice of yoga, so I make sure that I do my yoga, do a little bit of 15-20 minutes of my practice whenever I get an opportunity, and then I start my day. That's how I start my day usually also.
Okay.
But then yes, like I said, eat on time, because if you're hungry, you're very, very devilish. So don't be that. Right? Keep a bottle by your side, always. Have the most liked food, because that makes you happy. So you'll take care of everything else. Otherwise, you'll only be shouting at people and you'll just create another level of chaos. Otherwise, I'm a very calm person. I've become of late a very calm person. When I was a planner, I used to get 20,000 calls in a day, 2,000 calls, and people kept on calling me, giving me real-time information where they are, what they're doing. That used to take away my peace. And that was my reason of shifting from planning to designing. Like I said, I reached home on time. That's the best thing. I'm able to sleep on time. I'm able to wake up early, even if that is required, if that is the need of the hour. And then doing a little practice of yoga, having water, doing my regular thing. Otherwise, somebody like me who goes into guilt trip if I have not done my yoga also.
But do you miss planning? Like, do you miss all that labor? Say, हाँ भैया कहाँ हो? हाँ भैया वहाँ हो? And you're just like, that phase. Do you miss that?
So
do you still do it?
I still do it to some extent, but then yes, I definitely miss that part where we discussed about Shobita, dressing up and everything, because that time when I was doing planning, I used to dress up and stand there and just know the gossip of the entire family and enjoy that time. Sit and eat and have time. But then with decor, it's a different story. We are mostly out of the venue when you're coming in.
Right.
So that's there definitely, and it's a bit more relaxed.
Okay.
So I don't miss that phone calls. I don't like talking on phones that much as it is.
So that's good, as long as you are liking what you're doing.
I love what I do. I just absolutely adore it has been one of the best decisions of my life of shifting myself from planning to designing. And I definitely say that, once people will start adapting the entire scenario of a wedding designer, you will be more sorted, because, you have somebody who is skilled for that. It's somebody who knows how to lay a table, how to lay a table arrangement, how to do. The frame will look. And and we that is how we actually make the entire event look like a story. How you saw it in the mood board. So that's that.
No, and I think so. अगर मेरा कोई और event company हो, I can hire you to work with them.
Absolutely, you can hire me. I collaborate with event planners and event managers, and I come on board only for my job. So even if people have a tendency of asking questions like when I sit with families कि अच्छा बताइए आप तो इतनी weddings करती हैं, who's the most famous artist? I keep myself away from those discussions because I don't want to take away from the right person's job. My job is that I will give you suggestions only related to decor. Plus you're not paying me for that. So why?
True.
That's an energy waste. So I don't waste my time there. I tell them to hire planners and then I collaborate. And that is also one way of networking.
Oh yes.
If somebody is a planner who is doing different sort of, so my scale has expanded. Horizon is big now. So I think that's a better way to do it.
And are you like the only one in Jaipur right now?
No, not really. I've got 5-6 like me, and we're doing a great job. All of us have good business, and the scales can be different, of course, right? The collaborations can be different, of course. But then, as long as you're doing great job, you will definitely have your space, your own clientele, your own strong points. So it's pretty sorted.
No, but the way you have carved the mark, it's commendable, because of course I have heard of you because we've met, but from generally also. I mean, nowadays there's the weddings happening in my family or people who've been with me in Hong Kong. I've heard from them how well you've been doing, how calm you are, how nicely you have turned what he or she wants into a vision. So I'm sure what you're doing is definitely amazing. But what I really want from you is some hacks. कोई ऐसे आपके नुस्खे या hacks जिससे people can actually save money but look amazing, like that wow factor bhi aa jaye but paisa bhi bach jaye. That's the baniya in me talking.
Okay, that's all right. So yes, when I'm sitting with the clients and they ask me for such suggestions, I'm a very honest person. I get very emotional when these father asks me such questions, and I want to give them what they want. So I've got a lot of these things in my mind, and I keep them on the tip of my tongue, and I'm like, should I tell them or should I not? Will it save me more money? But some hacks that I can think of are doing these mehndi event, or these small rituals that we were talking about in your own hometowns, right? If you're doing a destination wedding, come here for not more than 2 days. Don't extend your weddings to 3 days, 5 days. It's a money waste, right? So might as well do these small rituals in your hometowns, and then come for 3 major functions. You'll save money on the hotel, you'll save money, so stay, you save money, the decor you save money, the artist you save money, right? So invest your money rightly. This is one hack that I definitely suggest people. The second would be choose venues which are organically beautiful.
Oh yes.
Right? So it's not that you can't do decor there. If I have got something which is like a nice land, green land with lots of trees, I can decorate the entire tree and make it like a nice evening for your cocktails, plus next day morning I can convert it into a mandap.
Oh yes.
Right? So that is definitely there. The third thing would be, don't do these extensive menus. We want to do these 200 running feet of catering. People don't even go to certain corners because one person can eat as much. People are so health conscious these days that it's just not right. So cut down your menus probably. So that can also be one of those hacks.
That's nice. And I remember you were telling me about when to get married, na?
Yes. So definitely yes, that will definitely work in your favor. Off-season weddings, though, like Marwadi weddings, they never happen in off-season. But then, if you can, you must do your weddings probably on weekdays. That saves a lot of money because weekends are busy. Otherwise, also because you've got frequent travelers coming in, holidaying, and all of that. So do it on weekdays. do it in off-season months. Though weddings are not off-season anymore.
Yeah.
Weddings happen all the year round.
Yeah.
If not Marwari, probably Jain wedding or Punjabi weddings, Sindhi weddings.
Yeah.
So that happens all through and through the year. You know, there are a lot of South Indian weddings that I do on Rakhi Day.
Oh, imagine.
Yeah, people come from down south to Jaipur for destination weddings, and I am mostly occupied on my Rakhi Day. This has been my third year that I'm doing another wedding on a Rakhi Day.
Oh.
So, you know, that way is definitely, because we don't get married on festivals.
Yes.
We would want to spend money there. Might as well. So, you know, yes. So, weekdays, off-season weddings will save a lot of money for you.
Right.
100%.
And do you think like if I have like a longer period of courtship compared to that of shorter one, which one's better at like the whole planning and saving money and all of that? Like for example, if I'm engaged today, if I'm getting married 1 year down the line, do you think that's going to make me put in more money?
So I'll tell you, if it is not an international people coming in sort of a thing, if it is just domestic, then I think the shorter the period, the better the idea of getting married.
Oh, is it?
Do not spend one entire year for planning. It makes no sense. The RSVPs, I know for sure. I've done planning for so many years. The information will come to you only in the last 1.5 months.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? If at all today somebody tells me that Kartika, I'm getting married in March 2025, and I'll be thinking, but I don't know how things are going to change.
Yeah.
So, you know, the lesser the period, if you can, save yourself from that panic, the shorter the time, the better the pricing.
Oh, wow.
If you have a wedding, say in November, the hotel might just charge you X money. But then if you do it, say in next 2 months' time, because the hotel also wants to take that business from you, the planner also wants, and it's a shorter period. So you can definitely negotiate on fees. You can definitely negotiate on, because it's just now. And there's no time to think also. For the vendor also, honestly. So it's better. So shorter the time, better the budget.
So that means the generation gap will also be happy.
Yes,
they
absolutely.
want jaldi karo, jaldi niptao.
Yeah, because in India, people don't keep the courtship also for that long. It's not advisable. They don't do it. Maybe there's some saying for it also. Probably that's how we think. We're very superstitious people.
Yes. But chalo, I think we've had an amazing session with you. We've learned so much.
Honor.
Like I think it was amazing to have you because you understand our mindset. Like especially from the field we are in, it's really nice to talk to somebody who creatively itna active hai. So we had a great time. But before we sign off, I want to do a small this or that with you, where I can know what you feel. So rapid answers.
Quick. Okay.
So Bridezilla or Groomzilla?
I love the Groomzilla part. They're very chilled out people.
Oh.
Very chilled out people. They like, there's a bottle, I'm okay, do whatever you want to do. So definitely. But then I love my brides also. So, but my choice would always be Groomzilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Wed Me Good or Wedding Sutra?
Wed Me Good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because better leads, better reach.
Okay.
So definitely yes, Wed Me Good.
Okay. Do you think pastel palette, pastel decor, or like those poppy and those bright decors?
Depending on what season are you doing what.
Achha.
So if it is a winter wedding, I would definitely ask you to do a poppy color element with a great amalgamation of pastels. But then if it is a summer wedding, do pastels. Okay. 100%. It just makes you feel cool. Yeah.
Pastel lehenga or red lehenga?
Red. That's how brides are being imagined as. You can't have a bride in a off-white lehenga. No.
Yeah. Do you think timeless feels or trending ideas?
Definitely trending idea, because that sets the mood. That definitely gives you a little edge.
Yeah.
Everybody, even if I don't say it, if like you got married 8 years ago, if I ask you, you would definitely want your reel to go viral.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, Kartika, we had a great time. Thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure is all mine.
And we shall meet again.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.